Twisted Fate, which is a contested pick. So the exact same 3 bans with Teammate, by the way. Just adaptations now for Zenith instead.
Yep.
Lulu was the high priority. They could still go over the TF Nocturne, but at least they could steal away and hurt Meeple's champion pool. Plus, Lucian's up for Maple.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, is Teammate...
There's no reason to pick Vlad.
No, he's not going to pick Vlad. Teammate will always pick, if they are on blue side, their first pick will be Cali Trolls, either locking in a high priority champion for himself for a team comp, or something that was just left up that's really powerful.
This is crazy.
If you swap them over to red side, they're going to last pick their top every time.
Well, it's going to be then maybe the blind pick top lane for Acadian, which could be a rough spot for him. I feel like the Elise go ahead and be locked in. They are considering the ability to adapt mid-champ select and play a different style like that Nocturne TF. And so they're like, okay, do we leave the adaptation thing open? Like maybe just pick Braum right now? Or do we say deny the champion pool? It is deny the champion pool. There's the Braum that goes through. Mimo expecting that one already says, we're going to counterpick one of these solo lanes. That's immediately the case here. Lulu, a flex pick that Teammate must deal with.
Yeah, I think Teammate is just going to go ahead and pick their mid laner here. I mean, that's the typical thing that they do. And I would say that they would most likely go with Orianna.
Orianna.
I'm going to go with Ori on this one.
Just safe mid laner hit.
Boom.
There's the lock.
Oh.
Thresh up against Braum.
Oh.
That is the case there. Well done, sir.
Fired.
Well done. Make them all happen. Watch a lot of Teammate games. You learn the players' histories after a while. Ooh, yes. Rengar top lane for Acadian. So this is fun. Not going for the Tryndamere. 1 tier shed, but his second most played is Rengar. That one's fun as well. Blind picks it, though, so you better hope his matchup's good.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
That would be ridiculous.
That's a good shout out.
I don't think he's going to do it, but that would be ridiculous.
That would be a little ridiculous. It's not like he even plays much of it. At least I got to see it. The icon during champs. Like, that's all. I'm sated now. I'm okay.
So, like, it's really hard, at least for me, to guess what California Trolls is going to pick, and I think it's hard for everybody else.
I think it's hard for his team to guess what he's going to pick.
Exactly. I think he might go with the Vladimir here, have some synergy alongside the Orianna. He can play it safe early. They can try to lane swap the Rengar, but he's going to go with the Mundo, which is his fallback safe pick, which he was playing in other Challenger games. I kind of wanted the Vladimir, though, just because. Yeah,
it'd be fun to watch. For I always like when the new picks come out, but it's not going to be the case. Team 8 running a pretty well-rounded composition now. A lot of picks you expect to see in the LCS and everywhere else. Lucian, Thresh, a great duo lane, one that could pretty easily win their matchup. Orianna, another just hold standby.
Yeah, and Zenith eSports has a lot of get in people's faces here. Acadian's going to be in the top lane. Now he's going to have the roaming pressure, but at the same time, Teammate, they really like to lock down on enemy top laners very quickly, whether it's with ganks or 2v1ing them.
And that's going to be the difficulty then of, hey, can you get in and onto people? What I do like about Zenith is their massive ability to play make right now. Right now, they're hovering on double teleport here on both Rengar and Lulu. Expect that to go through. They've got Rengar stealth with the ultimate. They've got the Twitch stealth as well. Lulu can haste people up and get them into fights. There's a lot of scary things available to that lineup. Like just like how Team 8 crushed Game 1 with the incredible map pressure, that same power is here for Zenith.
Yeah, I actually like Zenith's team composition a little more, just based on their raw power. Of course, Team 8, they're going to have to play a little bit of a later game here, unless Maplestreet crushes the bottom lane.
And that's the thing, though, is I feel like at this point, you've got a similar situation to last time where you have a very obvious we want the 2v1 situation. Morgkate was going to crush that 2-on-2. You saw Teammate lane swap up multiple times to hide from that matchup, and they did so successfully, as well as outplaying the 1v2.
They gave up dragon pressure,
yeah,
but then
they
swapped it back when Zenith was like, no, we want our 2-on-2 top. And then they got the first dragon for Team 8.
Right,
it was a very, very tricky situation to manipulate the map around, and you ended up losing your Caitlyn. You ended up getting a buff very early onto Cali Trolls and denying it from Mimo. Just a lot of things went Teammate's way right off the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and so you're right that like Teammate had outsmarted them, but in terms of this sort of situation right here, though, in terms of what Zenith is looking for, because I agree with you, I like their composition. I think Jarvan Lulu plus Twitch is a great sort of setup overall. There's a lot of ways to start up a team fight for these guys, but you've got a really weak 2-on-2. Twitch, especially since the nerfs came through in, I forget it was 4.10 or 4.11, I think it was 410, losing out on some of his base AD, losing out on a lot of the early deadly Venom damage early game.
His base AD was ridiculous, though.
No, it was actually pretty much par. He's actually on the low end now for base AD.
He's the same as Ezreal right now, I think.
Yeah, which is actually on the low end. Ezreal, Ashe, Twitch are all kind of the bottom tier of base ADs, but you get really powerful spells. Like, it's not like he's a bad champion now, right? Like, it's whatever. It's just worse than it was before, but he's still good. But it just makes him a weaker laner. And when you face Lucian Thresh, which has constant just damage pressure, and because Twitch can't last hit outside of his basic attack range, you will take counterattack damage. You will get hit. You don't have much poke from Braum. It's not a good 2-on-2 for Zenith. I think that they will look for the 2-on-1, and as we saw, and as you pointed out a second ago, Teammate are really good at playing around 2-on-1s. So this is a risky, but I think necessary situation for Zenith to have a chance to win this game in the mid game.
Yeah, I think since Maplestreet got Lucian, he's going to be very confident, and they're going to 2-on-2 the bottom if they get the opportunity. They're just going to send them both down bottom, be like, we'll get dragon control, and we'll take it at like 3.5 minutes. We'll do whatever we can. If you guys want to lane swap it, but you picked a Rengar, are you still going to lane swap it?
That's true. There's all... Well, so you heard about... I guess you were talking about what Calitroll said about his sort of top lane tier listing.
Yeah.
Both Mundo and Rengar actually have been junglers in the past. Rengar actually is currently, in terms of sort of the standard pick setups there. So, of course, Acadian will be able to jungle with the champion if he wants to and get some of that gold income in. Rengar is definitely one of the top laners that really wants to scale up early. I think he is the top laner that has the most demands on him mid-game. Right? Like, Mundo is just like, if you keep farming, by 45 minutes, you'll be unkillable. Great, you did your job. Rengar has this period around 20 minutes where it's like, you better make plays with your armor pen and one-shot somebody. Oh, I think you miss out on a lot of the opportunity of Rengar.
Well, also another part of that is since Bone Tooth Necklace doesn't lose charges when you die, roam, get those kills. As a top laner, you usually have the lowest kill participation in the game, and kills are far removed from you. So you want to stack that necklace up as much as you can, as fast as you can, and get those bonus attributes.
That's true. Yeah, thankfully they don't give any direct combat stats, but they do give a whole bunch of utility, you know, with the jump ranges and the movement speeds and everything. So very much worth having. Hakuho did start out actually 2 sweepers on the team of Zenith. They really, really want to rob ward vision here to make plays. I want to see how well these sweepers are used. One's been used to get some vision in the mid lane.
Acadian just went up and warded, but he didn't check the bush for Cali trolls. He's not going to follow him in.
I believe Mimo would have seen that trinket go down. They're getting their team together to make sure they can kill it right away.
Yeah.
Mimo and Easy going to take that one down. They have not shown their support, though, so this is going to make it... I think that was in the brush. I couldn't quite tell if it was stealth on release, but...
It ended up getting into the brush.
Okay. All right, Maplestreet. It's good. Scar, take notes. Jessica Jung going to spot Dodo, who puts a aggressive trinket ward down and actually sweeps out the pink. Oof, that Zenith bot. That is 100 gold down the drain and 30 more going to Maple. Not a happy place to be in.
So just think about it. And that ward that Maple just placed down in that tri-bush, the way I place it is that little sign there.
Yep.
Put it on the top. It's got a little black dot on it.
Yep.
That's where you place the ward.
Yeah, and pretty much anywhere like on the very edge of that arrow, like between like the neck of the arrow and the big sort of triangle.
Yep.
I don't know what to call the pieces of an arrow, but that's where you put it. Calitroll is really trying to stop this red buff invade of Zenith. I don't think there's any way to do that properly, though.
Braum on him right there. GGJJ ends up getting the red.
Yeah, this is really well done. Zenith actually get their own 2-buff start. Corvus got his own blue, and I don't know if they have the resources to push in to steal away the Zenith blue. So greatly done by this blue team here. They've gotten a 3-buff start.
GGJJ.
Oh, this is so sexy.
He's gonna go gank.
He doesn't have Q
though.
Oh,
he doesn't have it. Now he does.
So he gets level 2. He does learn ambush. Are they lane swapping to mid? This is all kinds of weird. They're sending the Twitch to solo the mid lane to keep him safe. They're going to use Lulu as a 1v2 hold. Let Rengar get the solo farm that he needs. I mean, think back to how teams use Lulu top. And people talk about this in the LCS. They look, Lulu, even if you don't get much gold or XP, she still has that base utility. She's still useful. They get to keep Twitch safe, get to give Rengar a one-on-one lane, and still get most of the bang for the buck out of Lulu. That is freaking nice from Zenith.
Yeah, and also at the same time, he has the Crystalline Flask, so he has an immense amount of sustain in the bottom lane to continue trying to CS. Really good play here in theory crafting, but will it pay off?
Well, Slushy's taking some damage there. Only 2 pots on him. Team 8 really not able to go for that 3-minute dragon because guess what? It's a 4-on-4 on the bottom side of the map. There's actually no play available. So beautiful stuff there. Porpoise Pop's Cocoon goes in. Tags wild Meeple, but no big deal.
Level 1 support roaming around.
He's trying to make plays as best he can, but at a certain point, you really need levels on Braum. GGJJ fighting out best he can. He's still down a level, though. He came to lane late.
Hakuho also brought full consumables at the start of the game and no gold generation item or even a ruby crystal.
Yes, this plan was all, like...
It was all wards.
Put together from the level 1. Because none of the GP10s actually work very well in the I'm roaming the jungle case.
Yes. Can't Targon's them or Relic Shield them. Nope. Not going to get much from...
And you don't want to buy the Spell Thieves on that champion. That would not work out all that well. Slushy is getting worn down by this red buff Twitch. I don't think he's played this lane very often, despite being a former AD carry player. Ori vs Twitch, not a normal lane matchup in solo queue.
Well, also a red buff at level 1.
Yeah, also a little bit difficult
to deal with, too. And now they're just using this as a crowbar to get an advantage in that mid lane. They pulled Dodo and and Porpoise Pops to the mid lane.
Well, they hooked the level 1 Braum. They put, wow, actually a lot of damage on Ignitus there as well. He's forced to flash away. Wow.
He couldn't retaliate underneath the turret.
Nope.
Got a slow. Has the exhaust still. But he's still level 1. Sitting around.
Eating some biscuits. Does not land the Q on Porpoise Pops. Level 4 now on the Elites. Level 2 on Braum.
There it is. It's Maplestreet being the best top laner and challenger. Again, and Hakuho, he's caught.
He's got nowhere to go. I'm surprised he stayed around so long. He knew his brush got warded and just waited around somewhere where he's not going to be of use at all. That is not a good misplay. Not a good play.
Not a good misplay.
I mean, most misplays aren't good to make, but that one was exceptionally awkward. That's like the best term I can use for it. Like,
yeah, no, it was.
I normally understand if players like, oh, they like misestimate something. It's like, oh, you nearly killed him with that Q, but like, there's just nothing to gain there.
Yeah, he was just trying to stay in the bush and get some vision. Saw the ward come down on him, and he's like, oh, I'm getting collapsed on. And nobody to stand behind me with.
Stand in front of, I guess.
Yes, I guess. I was trying to figure out how to word that because it's called stand behind me.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't stand behind me away to somebody. There we go.
Stand in front of you. 1v1 though, looks like easy is not like this matchup. So in both cases, the AD carries are actually winning their fights versus the mid laners. But the problem is Team 8 looks a lot like last game. They found a way to get the first blood off the weird lane swaps anyway. Yeah. And they're up 1,000 gold early game.
Maplestreet 1v1s him and forces him back and says, GG. Easy.
Wow. Wow. Cannon minion picked up by Dodo's Thresh. Troll's very low on health top lane though. Easy gets back to the mid lane. That's the reason for the double TP. They're looking, that's what the double TP was also for part of it, was finding all these ways to get to the lanes you wanted to go to.
And it's a Ryan Choi inspired build here for Acadian. 3 Doran's Blades. He's ready to try and rock and get into that mid game with the level 6s.
I guess that was his Ryan choice to buy 3 Dorans. Why not? Acadian is holding Cali Trolls back. This Mundo rushed. Ninja Tabby try to survive, but no health and no other stats to speak of. Acadian now level 6. So much risk there. Root's gonna land. Decent damage comes through there. Maxing Q so far, that's rank 3.
He's got the level 6. There's a lot of pressure mid lane because of GGJJ onto Slushy. This is the point where the next gank really, really matters. Red buff is going to be invaded here by Wild Mimo.
All right, well, does he have the numbers advantage? He doesn't, and
he warded it too to keep himself safe.
Yeah, so he's safe to do this. Rengar's keeping pressure on Mundo. It's easy to EQ out at this point there. Once again, red buff, they're giving this to... Watch if Dodo steals this. Okay, he doesn't. There's the red buff, and Dodo's actually locked up. There's a knock-up as well from Lulu. Porpoise comes to defend. It's a 3-on-3. And Hakuho just does not have experience, but do they have the damage regardless? Heal used by Maplestreet. It's actually the colon getting blocked out, but Twitch is so low on HP. The distance comes in. Q comes out for the slow.
He has flash.
Only tags easy, and GGJJ stealth away on Twitch. So red buff secured. Everyone walks away.
and stolen at the same time by Wild Mimo. And in this top lane, though, Acadian, he's actually winning it by a good margin now. He has about 14 CS up. There's a lot in this wave, but he has TP still.
They could have dived him. They know Kalitrols' ulti is down, and they saw the entire team on the bottom side.
TPing the Dragon.
This is a risk by Acadian, but they know Mundo can't join. Goes in, destroys Porpoise Pops, and now Maplestreet's got to be real careful. Shockwave pulls him back, though. He heals up and stays alive. Dragon goes to Zenith, but they lose the jungler in the process. Easy has flash. Last couple times, gets away. But that is a 1-for-1, sorry, but a Dragon also going to Zenith.
Yeah, Acadian, really good play there, using the ultimate after coming through on the teleport. Kills the jungler, which allows them to secure it for themselves. Good play there, good coordination, instead of focusing that top lane of Kalitrols. Kali gets a little bit of a wiggle room, but now, like I said, Rengar, he wants to be involved, he wants to get kills, he wants to stack up the Bone Tooth Necklace, and now he has a pickaxe coming back to that lane.
All right, so that's going to be, I believe it's Tiamat first, the standard build here. There's a lot of ways to go for it. I would expect if you're doing Armor Pen build, it would be Brutalizer first, not Last Whisper first. So I believe the root is Tiamat, but I'm not the biggest Rengar player. That'll be a fun one, though. He's going to have a lot of attack damage burst. It'll be a fun thing to be. I am impressed overall by Zenith's wide decision-making, right? Like, there's this play top lane that was like a guaranteed advantage. You'd trade Dragon for it, but you would like get a kill and then like a trade on globals. But here they were like, actually, we realize the intent for Dragon, all you guys are down there. They regrouped for that very much in time and honestly got a bigger gold lead than they would have by making the easier top lane play. So really smart choice. Zenith within 100 gold here of Teammate, and they look smart.
Yeah, they look really smart right now. Across the board, though, Teammate is winning in CS except for that top lane. And I guess the jungle, but I don't really count that.
Sure.
It's more of the pressure that you cause.
Yeah, in fact, they have the same items, so.
Yeah. The Quill Coat for J4 to going for the tanky route. Just the warding and having that type of pressure on the map is very important. Getting that from an item is just really good. People were starting to prioritize Sightstone even before Quill Coat was a thing. So it just kind of fed into that.
Yeah, it worked out pretty nicely. We've seen a couple of Quill Coat Sightstone players, and it's been largely effective. I'm really a fan of Sightstone junglers myself. It's just so good, like as a player, like on a team, you're like, man, we have 6 free wards all the time. You can run 4 sweepers and really crush the vision game. So that's looked pretty good for every time I've seen it. Maplestreet and Easy still battling, dodges the W, and actually wants this fight, but Maplestreet's crushing that one with the BF sword. Porpoise Pops, though, in a bit of a wrong spot, will get stunned up. Mimo, don't know if he can defend that. Lantern's there, but maybe they're on top of him. Here comes the teleport to keep him safe. The rest of the team's showing up as well. Mimo gets pulled back, and now Hakuho, only low level, trying to make his way in. Elise falls down. Jarvan finding more damage as well. Dodo8 gets stunned up. They're only level 5 on Thresh. Kalitrols in the back line. Hook comes in. They get 1 kill back onto this poor Lulu. Shockwave hits 2. They finally trade the kill back. So far, though, it's 4-2 in this battle. Slushie gets away.
Wow, Teammate just not picking the right fights here, ending up on the losing side of him. But Slushie,
well, GGJJ wants this fight. He's got some teammates, and there is Acadian. Shutdown goes through. An ace for Zenith right there. Delayed, but these guys are fighting so well.
And a big thing here is when we think about Teammates' losses to teams other than LMQ, it's usually because they fight a different strategy that they haven't encountered before. I talked about it at the start of the game. Necrophantation brought out a different strat. Zenith, losing the first game, completely different strategy. They're taking every red that they possibly can. They swapped the lanes, and now they force you to play reactively instead of some pre-practice strat that you have. Now you're playing on their terms.
And right now, the terms are good for Zenith. I am very impressed with these guys so far. They did look good in game 1, just slightly overmatched this time around. They have really kept the pressure on. And as you said, they're forcing them to play their game, and that's really what's happening here. It's been beautiful so far. Kalitrols, Porpoise Pops trying to put a wrench in the plans now. No summoners up for Acadian.
No wards either.
Kalitrols is playing too aggressively to show that there's no jungler. So just the easy escape there for Acadian. No gank available for Porpoise.
Acadian's looking for the roam from the top lane, has the early mobility boots, and he has a decent amount of stacks now on his Bone Tooth Necklace and a lot of damage. He's able to survive the laning phase. Ooh, he's at 5 right now. So he's got that extra little bit. Dips in.
Kalitrols right now showing no fear. GGJJ is around. His team is collapsing, and this could be a gank attempt. Maple's going to get a Lantern. The Q comes out for Braum. Glitterlance actually misses there, and Hakuho gets put into the turret at level 5 right there. Dodo puts the box in to keep his team safe. They will get away safely. Mimo forced to kill away part of a pink ward, but can't go all the way for this one.
Slushy's map reactions are actually a little delayed this game, going from Twisted Fate and being on top of everything and making it look like Easy wasn't in the right spot. Slushy's showing up late to these fights and then overstaying.
Yeah, he comes down, kills some caster minions, goes, never mind, back to mid I go. So you're right, the map movements are just better right now for Zenith. It's a 300 gold lead, obviously not insurmountable, but such a better game compared to the first one here.
Yeah, and Acadian, he's down bottom too. If they had started a fight, Calitrol doesn't have his TP. And look, they're gonna go and try to force this Root onto him.
Roots up Slushy, Shockwave onto 2, but he's stuck inside the Cataclysm without a flash. Kill picked up by Acadian. Twitch pops ulti, doesn't necessarily need to, but it will allow for turret pressure. And the first turret of the game, 14 minutes in, gonna go for Zenith. They don't stay because the team's recovering here to defend, but it's more gold going the way.
Easy ended up TPing top so that he could defend this and stop Calitrol from getting his own turret. Very good map play here. It's completely different than what was happening last game. Acadian, Moby Boots, roaming around trying to get to Cali. No ward there.
Gets spotted. Big damage comes through. Has the root in place as well. Do they have the damage they need to kill him, though? Flash for Easy, but it's not enough damage. Why flash for that? Calitrol gets out pretty safe.
Hoping for a little bit of extra AP from the gods.
Nope.
Didn't get it. They
didn't have Ignite. No reason to. But Easy is... I actually like the Easy's in this matchup right now, though, because it allows him some time to finally power up. He's very under-leveled right now, and I think 11's a pretty important level for Lulu.
Too.
Yeah, and giving him some time to run around as Acadian has a little more room to make plays. Out of turrets being down really helped Rengar and Twitch a lot.
Hakuho was down in levels for so long, but because the fact that he was Braum, he was still very durable naturally. Oh, he's going for this, what?
Kind of. I mean, he's dealing some damage. Yeah. Acadian's got a lot of sustain right now with the triple Doran, so...
That's true.
Tries to punish. No TP, no flash here for Mundo. He's got to walk his way back to lane, which could very easily mean the turret kill for Acadian.
Well, Dragon's also up right now, so depending on what happens here, Zenith, they actually have better choices.
Yeah, they do.
TP available, Dragon play available. If they don't even use TP, Acadian can go toe-to-toe right now with Mundo, who has no ultimate. But he's about to have it back up.
He's gonna go for this play, gets the root in place, and Calitrol just is not respecting the damage output. Acadian claims the kill safely. There's almost no way you could test Dragon right now. It's actually just Maplestreet shoving the bot lane to try to create pressure instead. Wards, these are very good wards coming down right here from Mimo. They're gonna make sure that no one's really around to contest Dragon.
Look at that. 1K gold advantage
Ruin King
right now. GGJJ onto Maple.
He goes in. He's got so much life steal from minions, though. Maple can't win that fight. GGJJ pushing him away with the culling and gets out. That was not a fight Maple could have won. Has to burn flash and heal and walk away. Does get the turret, but that's still something that I would say is good for Twitch. And now the Dragon also going to go for Zenith.
GGJJ still had flash and heal available for himself. Maple sliding in, didn't even finish the turret before he started his little escapade in the damage.
I would have flashed for that if I was Twitch. I might have died for it.
Oh, you could have healed yourself too for the movement speed.
Yep. Only 1 second now, but hey, still useful.
Could have caught him, but at the same time, didn't want to use those 2 summoner spells.
Yeah. That's fine. That's respectable. 2 summoners are probably not worth an unassisted kill, to be honest. I'd burn a flash, but I feel like 2 summoners is oftentimes a lot, unless that summoner's like Ignite, you know? Where it's like, it's just there to get kills in the first place. I don't know. It's up to everyone's own decision-making here, but right now Zenith have been making better decisions. 1,500 gold lead. They actually didn't take Dragon, interestingly enough.
Yeah, and speaking of decision-making, Acadian has the Tiamat, but then he goes for another pickaxe.
Okay, well, it's late enough that it's a Last Whisper here.
Yeah, he's not going to go for the full Ravenous Hydra just yet.
Don't need it, really.
Got enough lifesteal.
Yeah.
And look at that. He just walks here with the Moby Boots because of that just increased movement speed that's going to help him move around the map a lot faster.
Hakuho gets in front of him. He's going to walk out on this one. Top lane turret low, though. So this is interesting now. You've got this small lull right here where Dragon's up, so you know it's kind of intense right now. Both teams, no important objectives are up in the map. But all the teleports are available. Teammate, a little bit afraid without summoners, but...
Teammate just saw Jarvan top, so they could go for this Dragon if they can do it quick enough. And as soon as Acadian shows himself top, it might tell them to go.
Well, Mundo's still creating pressure top lane, which is a good thing for them. No flash, but honestly, he's durable enough. He's got the Sunfire cape. He's doing a good job pushing down here. Acadian, until he gets Last Whisper, actually, I think is going to have kind of a hard time killing Mundo, especially through his ultimate, but that will flip in another 1,000 gold. There's a timing to watch out for here is when that item spike turns around. It is going to be the double blade play for the Twitch here, so very assassin focused, whereas Maplestreet needs a lot of time to scale up. Still no Infinity Edge, 18 minutes in, that's a slow mark. And so I feel like this is a spot where like both teams have things to wait for, but both teams have advantages right now in their inventories.
Yeah, it's about 700 gold difference. This dragon is going to make a huge deal in this game. It's going to be about 1,500.
There we go, Dragon dying rather fast. Teleports are coming in. These guys want the fight.
Down
Bevo
quick.
goes in, does not get the steal. Goes the teammate, but now Maplestreet forced away. There comes the Cadian, explodes Maplestreet. AD carry gone. Shotgun does not find much. Hako forced to run away. He stays alive.
Used it yet.
2 kills so oh, sorry, I missed it. There we go. Doesn't find much now. Powerspop's gonna go down. This could be 3 kills now for Zenith eSports. Continuing the chase on down. It's Mundo. Calitrolls slowly wearing down Twitch and does so, but Orianna drops to Acadian. So now only Calitrolls is alive. There's the roots in place. And look at that fight, 5-1 for a dragon.
And it's back to just 600 gold difference between them. And you were right, the shockwave did hit nothing. Casting from the future again, Phreak.
Yep. I don't know why I thought I saw it.
Yeah, there's just a huge amount of display there in terms of what's on your screen. Maplestreet did end up picking up the dragon. Look at that. The Hydra just spamming there. And Acadian's damage is just so immense. He chases out Slushy, flashing into the bush so they can continue it. Gets him again, picks it up, then he wraps back around for a double kill onto Calitrolls at the very end. Just Acadians play this game, 6-0-6, last whisper completed, is ridiculous.
This is one of those games you gotta be real careful. Easy flashes. Oh, the cleaver blocked by Hakuho, but I don't know if he can keep his team safe. Hook comes down, doesn't quite catch him. That one's going to. And now this poor level 8 Braum has nowhere to go. Team 8 find the random picks across the map. What can they take for this?
It's even in turrets, and it's only about 800 gold difference between these two teams. If they get this mid turret, they'll even it up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's going to be a good place. Acadian, though, still wanting to play aggressively. Ulti is available. No cooldown on his build, interestingly enough. We saw most jungle Rangars look for cooldowns. Not the case here. Sushi gonna get jumped on. Big burst comes through. There's the shockwave slowed right now. He's got. Oh, he misses the 5-point E. But there's the brush. Don't go to the brush against Rengar. Down goes the kill. Picked up in the 1v1.
Everybody's coming up top though now. Dodo's gonna give it back to Maplestreet. Blue buff. He's very fast with the Moby boots. You have to get it off of him.
He's got to like try to one-shot Maple. He's gonna try. Oh, gets it. Not quite though. The shield comes out just to save him. Summoner heal burned as well. But that's a kill. A kill's a kill.
Yeah, and the blue buff ends up going over to Team 8 now. And now they have a gold lead by about 500 because they got the mid turret, and then they just traded 1-for-1 in the top with more assists on the back of that kill.
I'm surprised how fearless Maplestreet was. It's like, there is a 7-0 Rengar in this brush. I'm going to walk into that.
Utter trust and disregard.
Yeah, disregard for the scary lion man who's got a brutalizer now. That fight would now be won by Rengar if he had gotten to buy before then. Just saying.
Yeah.
That fool's going to one-shot the heck out of Maplestreet. And you've got to play around that. This actually is a very real thing though for Team 8. They've done, I want to say, a very good job of finding things to pick off. Team 8, Game 1 and Game 2, have found the kills around the map fairly well. What Zenith has done, though, is force really good team fights. They are willing to 5-on-5. They've teleported into both dragon attempts so far. And that's what's working for them.
That's the first red that Team 8's got in this game.
Yeah, it is.
That's just showing how much control Zenith has had over this game up until this point. But right now, it's all up to Acadian, for the most part, to do damage to the backline and blow somebody up. But I like these wards that Team 8 are starting to get across it. If you look, they have these aggressive wards despite being on their back foot. A lot of pink wards, too, lining the entrances of their jungles. They'll see Acadian coming into most areas. And Hakuho caught again. You
cannot ward out that far by yourself. He walked kind of by a ward and then kept going forward. And unfortunately, the hook was there. So poor Hakuho, 0-4-6. It's not necessarily his fault. I mean, okay, he's going a little bit too aggressively, but the guy is not been receiving much gold. He's actually going for a Mikhail, so a very low durability situation here for the Braum, and it's making life hard.
The no gold generation item delaying that as well. Making it so look at that difference, 1,600 gold difference between the supports.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a very large amount of money that's going to kind of keep accruing, to be honest, and it means that Dodo is going to have more to do by the end of, like, he's yeah, he's going to have more to do. He's going to have more available to him, more plays that he can make by the end of this game by being a more powerful champion. It's a risk that Zenith ran to get some of these early game moves, and some of them worked out, but it's a complete lack of tank stats. Right? Moby boots, going for Mikhails, like this is a pretty big risk for Haku.
Katie splitting top, and nobody's here to answer him just yet. Cali Trolls in the rotation here from Zenith eSports. If he doesn't check that bush, oh!
Uh-oh, the jump in onto Cali Trolls. He does not have flash. Pops the ulti, though, and here comes the team fight. A little bit of a lockup down onto the Rengar. Cali Trolls has a lantern to get at you. Hako flashes away, but he still goes down. The hook onto Easy is not good for the team, but here's the jump in towards Maple and Slushie. Can he find the kills? It's a Zonya's using Acadian. Is going to go down the backline, just barely staying alive, and now Twitch has got to be real careful. Mundo was on top of him now. Also, a scary fighter, and it's going to be the kill picked up onto the Twitch. Cali Trolls still alive. Mimo going to be claimed as well on this one with barely any health left. He could have turned to hit the Mundo, you're right, but the kills come through 4-1 so far. Beautiful fight for teammate this time.
Even just the Martial Cadence passive extra damage would have been enough on top of his auto attack. Mundo was pretty much killing himself there too.
Yeah, he was.
With his Burning Agony. Wow. California Trolls, he lives another day.
And it puts teammate 2,000 gold ahead, 2.4 thousand gold ahead. That was such a crucial fight. Cali Trolls got quote-unquote caught, but he's the tank on the team and he got out.
He gets caught, and the ultimate from Wild Mimo used on him in basically a breath of opportunity. Slushie shockwaving only Haku over to the flash out, but here comes Acadian. Watch this damage here onto Slushie and Maplestreet in the back line. Wrecks them. The reaction time on the flash, the shield, and the Zonias is perfect here. If Slushie had gone down, they wouldn't have had enough damage to finish him off in that time. If Maplestreet had gone down and hadn't have flashed away, it would have been a completely different fight.
Absolutely would have been. I mean, there were so many things that happened in that battle as well, as Dragon goes over to Zenith on the backside of this. GGJJ as well made the choice to, instead of playing for himself and focusing the Mundo, who was flanking around and chasing him and dealing damage, he was trying to participate in the rest of the team fight, hitting Thresh, hitting everyone else, trying to knock down Slushie, hitting that back line. Potentially, if Twitch had just ignored kind of his team and just fought the Mundo off, gotten rid of Cali Trolls, that fight could have gone differently with an AD carry able to clean up. A pick in the mid lane, though, just with the Rengar ultimate, they pick off the kill, but now you got to be careful if you're Twitch there. Slow comes in, Shockwave goes through, and Slushie finds the kill. Now Mimo's got to be careful. Fox comes out, the Flay stops the flag and drag, and a double kill comes through to Slushie. Flash Cocoon lands as well. In comes Hako to save the team, but then the rest of these guys have to get out. The flank from Cali Trolls, Acadian trying to run away. Haka, who actually in the chaos is maybe getting out. Easy, got to be careful as well. Knockup comes out from Braum, but it's not going to be enough. Easy dodges the cleaver, but can't dodge the distance. It's really coming in soon. There's a double kill again for Slushie. And only Acadian comes out.
And they evened up the kills 17-17, but now they have a 2K gold lead, and they're going straight for the Baron right now with all of these members. Only Acadian's alive, and he has no ultimate.
So he's going to push down the bottom outer turret. Maybe he gets as far as tier 2, but teammate are going to get a Baron and maybe a little bit more here. 2,000 gold is going to become about 3.5 before too long.
This Baron's going to do so much for teammate. They've been kind of on their back foot as much as possible in this game, but their CS has been keeping them in, and the gold generation. But here comes Mimo. What can he do?
There's a chance this fight goes well. Okay, there's the smite, grabbed successfully. Mimo goes out, no chance for the battle. If Twitch had ulti, they had the chance to fight that. It'd be a risk, but there's a big reward there on the end of it. Acadian is getting some good damage down. He's interestingly not using Q on the turret. It doesn't give attack speed, but it does give the bonus damage, I believe.
Yeah.
But he's saving his ferocity in case he needs it for something else. To be fair, he gets the turret regardless. So, 2 turrets actually worth about the same total gold as Baron. You can see still about 2,000 gold apart.
The leap in here, trying to blow up Maplestreet, gets so close to doing it. But then he gets hooked into the turret, has to back off for the rest of the fight, and then GGJJ, Cocoon, and exploded here from the Shockwave. As the hook goes after Mimo, I think it was actually looking for JJ, and then the perfect play backwards from Dodo. Just perfect play from Dodo all throughout that engage.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal really all series long. A great player, that support. He's one of the players who gets, I think, underrepresented. Yeah. Because there's so many, to be honest, very good players on this team. You can talk about all the crazy champs that Cali Trolls plays, all the cool things that Slushie can do with TF, the 1v1s with Maplestreet, but Dodo's also course, a very big part of this team, and he's doing great this game.
Porpoise and him are both really responsible for the vision game that they play all throughout the map, as well as the roaming game, but those are the two least recognized players on the team, and they definitely deserve their dues, because it is a huge team effort, despite the fact that they are out CSing the lane opponents in all the solo lanes, and that is a testament to their skill, but the fact that they're able to come back into this game is really off the back of Dodo and Porpoise Pops.
They're playing a beautiful series right now. 3,500 gold lead. The giant Rengar has been able to pick up kills consistently, 8, 2, and 8, but the problem is the rest of the team has just not been able to quite convert on anything else. Teammate with the Baron buff now looking down the mid lane, growing into a 4,000 gold lead, looking for the inhibitor.
A lot of hook potential here, as well as cocoon potential, which we've seen from Dodo and Porpoise Pops all game long. The flash cocoons have been on point, the hooks have been on point, and then hitting somebody they weren't on point for, but it turns out to be a better target. Hooking easy up in the top lane. Some of the cleavers from California Trolls have been good too, but Acadian, can he get to the back line? Can he get to the squishies? He has the Yumus. And he blew up Maplestreet last time.
Look, it's Minion, not his intended target this time around. Slows come out hitting Slushy and Cali Trolls, but no conversion just yet. This turret taking a little bit of damage. Cali Trolls could take the aggro, and yes, it's going to be teammate pushing in for a bit of damage here. Ori shield, and a couple hundred health off, and they'll wait for round 3.
And teammate looking to push the base in.
Acadian's looking to flank.
Looking for the side.
At what point does the team want to go in? I feel like this is a pretty important battle, fairly do or die here for Zenith. I think they do lose the inhibitor before Baron buff times out, unless they make a play. There are minion waves top and bottom side. In fact, if Zenith wants, they could theoretically TP and go for the base race style play. This turret's going down slowly in a standing 4v5. Hakuho, they're taking a bunch of damage. He will get exploded, but the battle has begun. In towards Lucy, in towards Maplestreet. Can he one-shot? Almost he does with Flash. The battle continues now 4-on-4. Acadian loses all his health bar. So Lulu only keeping him alive. Dodo 8 losing a bunch of health. Shield still coming in, but there's GGJJ getting exploded in the back line. Great shockwave finds more kills, and suddenly teammate are in on this with an ace.
They have 4 members still alive. They're going to get that turret. They're going to get this inhibitor. They have some minions there. What is going to happen? Are they going to continue to push this base down? It might just be victory for them.
It might just be game. Braum coming up in 5 seconds. He never even got to ult during that fight, nor flash away. That CC might have been just enough for the team to win the battle, but down goes Nexus turret number 1. There goes the ulti. It misses the entire team, and teammate will back out saying, we're too low to go for this. Get the map in a good spot, defend the turrets, try again later.
Yeah, there's 15 seconds on Dragon. What are they going to do? Right now, Hakuho hooked again all game long. He's just been finding them like a magnet. But Acadian, he's been finding Maplestreet like a magnet too. Even with the slide away, Slushy uses Zhonya preemptively. He's like, oh my god, this is Rengar.
Wasn't him.
Just become invisible or invulnerable even though he's not the target. Saves the shockwave for that moment and has the wonderful pickup there. Zenith played that fight really well, but with Hakuho getting caught at the start, it just didn't go their favor. You said he didn't even get his ultimate off. He blew it there when he respawned. Yeah. Not going to have it for this next fight coming up.
And that's the problem I have. I mean, it's a risk, and I understand the upsides to it, but hold on, wait, fight. Mimo's got to be careful. He can EQ out. Oh, they're going for this battle. Maple's going to take a whole bunch of damage, and he will go down. Can they get this on round 2? Lulu has the ulti to keep the team alive.
Acadian coming in now.
Is around with the big growth. Dodo is low, but stays in this one. Here comes Porpoise Pops on the wings, doing what damage he can on Elise, but is losing health bars. Knockup comes through. Shockwave is available if they can find one, but Cali Trolls
can't take the lantern.
Nowhere to go. Shockwave is massive, though. Big damage comes through. They kill off Acadian, and he stays alive the whole time.
Just the regen, and nobody can deal with it. There's no Ignite on this team because they brought so many teleports and an exhaust. Nobody has that summoner spell to deal with Mundo, and that's the caveat strategy that they used at the start.
Easy really would have been well served with a Morellonomicon this game. He wasn't facing a 1v1 against Slush. He didn't need the magic resist, and ideally he plays safe in the backline anyway. That
look for the hook on Mimo.
Mimo's not going to be happy, man, but he's fairly tanky at least. Does it set up easy for damage? And GGJJ, yes it does. Porpoise Pops does not go for the knockup actually. This Elise might get out. Easy flashes! The Q, can he get it? No, the shield comes out in time. Both of them forced to flash though, but now Team 8 are on the wrong side of this, but minions go into the mid lane.
Minions in their base right now. Dragon is still up. Porpoise Pops, he's gonna back. He needs that HP before he can do anything about it. And Mimo is on clear duty.
Problem is he's got no clear speed like at all. Tank Jarvan doesn't kill these minions in time, someone else needs to remove that. Acadian's got to get pulled in for this, and he will maybe, just maybe, save the turret, but it's pretty close right there. That means no one's around. Oh, you're kidding me! Hakuho steals away the dragon. Isn't even wearing the right skin for it.
Dragon Slayer, nope. Just regular Braum.
Actually, you should if you ever steal a dragon as Braum, your skin should change mid-game.
Same thing with Pantheon and Vayne.
Yes.
All the dragons. What if you don't even want to be that?
Doesn't matter.
Ah.
It's canon. Should be like the the hunt when Rengar fights Kha'Zix.
Yes. I see.
It should be forced.
maybe normal games.
I think it'd be cool. Anyway, blue
no,
buff.
It would be cool.
Oh, Acadian steals blue.
He crit it.
He shouldn't have attacked right there.
662.
High damage. So here's the interesting thing is, Hakuho finally has gold. He finally has a Giant's Belt. Maybe he'll survive through a hook now so he can get his ulti off in a fight. And I don't mean it as a flame on him. Like, It was a strategic choice to play really utility-based and low gold to make plays early on. Problem is it's made him an untanky tank. Big Shockwave's going to catch easy, forced to ult himself and try to run away. But there's a jump in towards Slushy, forces the Zhonya's out, but Braum goes down. Acadian tries to pick up kills. He's doing whatever he can. Jessica Junk on the side is hitting a ward right now. Finally goes back into the fight, but there's the culling on the wings. Can Jessica Junk do anything here? Looks like he really can't. More kills come through. Mundo on a double. Porpoise pops, just staying alive with shield as well. Mimo finally kills the Orianna, but has nowhere else to go. Only Easy's left alive with 1 kill for Zenith.
And the flash comes out from Cali Trolls. TVing. Trying to end the game right now.
He's aware.
They're going to go straight for this. The inhibitor is going to get taken out. Teammate, that was a brilliant team fight. And they're going to get this last Nexus turret.
That's going to be the game 2-0. Only about... Actually, heck, that was a shorter game. Am I recalling properly? It was a 29 to 39 the first time around.
It was a 30-minute and 1-second game this time.
All right, 30-minute game the first time around, but this one just 5 minutes longer. And Team 8, they claim it an incredibly close game, but 2-0 nonetheless. Well-earned victory. They're into the semis. Zenith, I gotta say, put on a heck of a show. Some awesome players there. I'm impressed by that lineup, but unfortunately, that one's not going to come through for them.
Yes, and at the same time, though, there's still a possibility for Zenith to compete for that 6th place spot if some of the bracket shapes up in a certain way.
They need Curse Academy and they need LoL Pro to win. That way they'll tie, I believe, for 6th or 5th in points and can make their push on up. But they basically need the guys who won last time, got seeded in the bracket, to win again to have that sort of a tie. That's the requirement here for these guys. So we might see more of Zenith. We've seen... Now, 2 teams that have lost both today and yesterday, the 2 teams we've seen that have gotten 2-0'd look pretty good. And I do want to see a bit more from these guys. So, kind of on my side, I kind of hope for some tiebreakers here. But all in the same, though, Team 8 looked great. I feel like we've been waiting for this team to break out for a while because they've had such good success outside of the Riot tournaments. They finally make it to a semifinal for the first time ever, and you're seeing why.
Yeah, they have been a really good team that has competed in other tournaments, Black Monster Cups, taking all of those since its creation so far and their participation in it, getting 1st place.
Yeah.
Pretty much not a competition for other challenger teams. They are up there with Coast in the top. Well, when they compete, that's usually how it happens in best of 3s.
Yeah.
Like they have their draft phase down a lot better than I had seen previously in other seasons. So they're looking like they are improving as a team and meshing together very well.
When you mentioned them and Coast, it's going to be our semifinal. And in fact, after today's matchup, here's how the overall bracket shapes up here for Summer 2. Team 8 has advanced to the semifinals. Yes, they will take on Team Coast in 2 weeks.
And the other semifinal match will be set after next weekend when Curse Academy squares off against Wasabi Gaming. And Team LoL Pro faces Cognitive Gaming.
But there's more LCS action before those matchups get started. On Thursday, Summer Week 9 of the European LCS kicks off when Suba Hot Crew takes on Rocket and Gambit Gaming goes up against Alliance.
Then Fnatic fights the Copenhagen Wolves and SK Gaming spars with Millennium. After the Challenger quarterfinals continues, it's As Forever Zenzig and SK Gaming Prime play a best-of-3 matchup.
It's going to be a fun one. The action gets underway at 8:30 a.m. Pacific with the LCS preview show. Of course, that's going to be... Now I just lost my place. 5:30 p.m. Central European Summertime. That's the one, of course, is how this all works out. A bunch of great games slated up here. And the Challenger action just keeps kind of ramping up. Of course, another week of quarterfinals ahead of us. But this is actually, I think, one of the best Challenger splits I've seen. There's so many good teams looking forward to see play. Going to be a whole bunch of fun. LCS games also ramping up. European LCS keeps jumping all over the place in the standings. North American LCS doing the same. This is, I think, my favorite split so far.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole bunch of fun. So with that, we've reached the end of our time together tonight. Before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zirene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night. GG.